Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Dungeon Meshi, episodes 16 and 17, double feature here on the Boldcast channel. Let's see what happens this time. Bit of a break. Now we're back. Let's check it out.
Surely. Just looking so smug.
What are they actually?
Nothing on the ground.
What?
Oh. Sure you saw some.
What if they set up all this stuff with a ghost just to like subvert and make it that he's just actually fucking insane, going all schizo mode?
Let's kill it.
What the hell? I think it's just the dungeon. Wait, was it actually the dragon? That's disgusting.
That's gross.
What's your recipe for wet cement? They're little bugs that make up the whole wall?
I guess so. It's gonna eat it.
They're kind of gross.
They are harmful.
That's very interesting. I wonder how this will come back in the future. So they ate all the blood from the dragon, I suppose. Sphinx. Or something. Chimera, maybe.
Oh good, we found a way out. Let's, before we leave, start cooking.
I guess they have an open flame right there. What the hell? That face. I love the pumpkin's looks maxing. It's kind of awesome.
Whoa.
The cockroaches had... Did the cockroaches have a snake part? No, that was a basilisk, right?
They both had snake parts.
Okay, yeah. So it makes sense. I guess it's like a in between a chicken and a snake egg type thing where it's like all fluid.
Yeah.
Oh. But is it good? Or does it taste like rocks because it's trying to be rocks?
Yeah, I wouldn't think that that would taste good. Yeah. But no.
Oh, geez, they're already meeting up. Look at this. Wait, is it actually that thing, or I thought it was gonna be?
No, they're getting caught by these guys.
Yeah. It's...
They think that they...
What is that thing?
It's my old squad. I don't know what you were thinking here.
What? He doesn't look like he's doing very well. So his real name's Toshiro.
Wow. Would you all like to join us? Okay, actually, there's like way too many of you.
How's this gonna go? It's just all awkward for a second.
Putting it all together.
Alright, buddy. Just flex on them a little bit. Jesus, man. He hasn't been eating right.
You better cook him up a nice meal.
Bro just casually explained Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
No need. Oh!
I wonder what they're gonna make. I don't know what to think about this lady.
いな。終わりよくない。3組程度に分かれよう。
Rip.
それでもカエル女魔術を使える者はここで結界を張っている。物が寄りつかないようにね。
よろしくね、お嬢さん。
シロ、俺たちも少し離れよう。経緯を軽く説明するよ。
ささ
この場合、より一人にさせたら危険なのはおい、少し張り切りすぎじゃないか。急に言っていただかないと。
ここでさあ、シロ、ここに座って。いいから。何があったの？
There's a giant signal of exactly where they are.
と別れた後、俺たちは要点だ。レッドドラゴンを倒してファリンを回収し蘇生したんだ。怪力な狂乱の魔術師に襲われた。これ以上は俺たちの手には負えないから、救援を求めるため地上へ戻ることにしたんだ。道に迷って。よかった、力を貸してくれないか。
質問いいですか？この迷宮を作ったという存在ですよね。噂や存在はささやかれるものの、実際に見て戻った人間はいないの魔術師だと。
なんか
It just kind of made sense at the time. If you were there, you'd understand.
Yeah.
待ってくれたんだ。
具体的には
Complicated.
ですか。
俺からも一ついいか。なぜレンガをかじっているんだ。ああ、違う。レンガじゃなくてできた壁をかじってたんだよ。
Makes it so much worse.
Is it gonna be like against his religion to eat the dungeon creatures?
This just sounds disgusting.
You've gone insane.
めちゃくちゃ面白いですね。今までで一番美味しかったものは何ですか？
ああ、それケルピー、すごく良い。やっぱレッドドラゴン。
お父さん食べた。捕食部あります？
するね。
I love how this guy's just as crazy.
ほら、この剣。ミナーが剣すけ食ってる。
Oh.
隙間ない。本職に興味あるのだったらいつでも振る舞うよ。
はあ、お願いします。まずい、本当に。
Copper's just trying to get a bunch of information. Doesn't care at all.
ハリンゴに見たときは無事だったのか。あ、居場所の見当は。そんな場所は大抵多くの名称だ。ああ、多くなら心配いらない。
どんな味でした？
違う。今は協力関係にあるんだ。
一応討伐の冒険者の義務なんだけどな。
それで居場所だけど、ひょっとしたらファリンはここよりもに連れ去られたのかもしれない。
Why does he look...
He feels like he is getting like 5 years closer to death every time someone speaks. It's like 1 minute away from a heart attack.
で、
兵糧丸が悪いわけではないが、には温かいものを腹に入れないと。
同感だ。食事というのはただ腹が膨れればいいものではない。
坊ちゃんは幼い頃は病気がちで、おまけに食も細く、周りを不安にさせてな。が作ったものだけはよく食べた。任務中にもよく食べた。
She's gonna be so pissed when Sentry makes like a beautiful meal. And then
She's
it's
gonna
way
have to
better than
learn how
her
to
rice
cook
balls.
dungeon food.
マイズ、助けたい人がいるんだ。力を貸してくれ。
ポー女に心を奪われようとは、なんと言って諦めさせたものか。
諦めさせたいのか。
私は当主様よりぼっている。感情で動くわけにはいかない。
ならば今やっていることは何なら手間をかけ調理する必要はない。なぜお前の作ったものだけはよく食べたか。そこに何が入っていたのか。わしには異常というやつだ。
なんだそれは。うまいこと言ったつもりか。 き次第では口添えし完成じゃ
Very nice. Simple.
温かいうちに召し上がっていただかなくては。お前たちなぜこんなところに。
内密の話があるとかで。
入りますよ。
Oh.
一体何が
Saves the food.
この男が何か何があったのだ。
すみません、僕たちは何も。
黒魔術だ。
Oh.
Long ears.
肉で女を蘇生した。
何をしたか分かっているのか。に関わったもの。理由や程度の差は関係ない。すべて題材。光の届かぬ場所で幽閉され、亡骸すら戻らない。彼女がどんな目に遭うか。迷宮の外に知られ、そして君はこのことを決して話したりはしない。だろ。ああするしかなかったんだ。分かってくれしろ。
黒魔術。思ったよりやばいのが。
Oh, it's
More
so
of a
much worse than
justification
I
for
thought.
murder.
Exactly. I've never been more justified. Ooh. Is she like a werewolf? Because there's that little dragon going around. Is she like changing
It
back
looked like
and forth?
feathers. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was fur. No?
Aw.
No? Is that her body? This ending's so good. Is that FALIN?
That would be messed up.
I feel like that must be FALIN with what I saw at the end.
Yeah, that's super weird. I was thinking that because like there's that smaller red dragon thing flying around. I was like, oh, maybe
that was
that's her.
Maybe it still is. But like, look at that.
But, like,
it's like
yeah.
attached to her. She's like splitting off from it or
If you look at that other
sprouting out of
shot,
it.
it's like I think it is like it has feet. Like it has like feet. Like it's.
But like, how is she connected to it? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is standing up, so like you think she'd be up there, like up at the
Maybe
top.
it's just long.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know.
That's.
I don't know where she's attached. Like, does it go? Is it? I don't even know. Is she part of something's tail? Oh, is she the snake? Is she like the snake part of the cockatrice or the basilisk? And she's like growing out of the tail or something. Because the feathers are coming out of her like chest and everything, and obviously her eyes are different. Yeah, she's like corrupted and.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because she's part monster, she's part of the dungeon, so. She can be like manipulated on a physical level, like how the cleaners make up different shit, like, you know.
Yeah, well, the lunatic magician guy like was like, oh, I'll give you a form that's like better suited for you than this like human one.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about like, yeah, I remember that too. It's just just thinking about it.
It is freaky though, because I just thought that she was like that, but like that dragon could just be like how like it could just be something else that is like doing surveillance for the lunatic magician.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, she's turning into some freaky bird thing.
Yeah.
That's so
I wonder
weird.
what the fuck they're gonna do, if they can even save her, or if this is like, if the story is going from a, you know, make things right to let it go type story. You know what I mean?
I feel like they'll be able to do something, but they might have to like defeat the dungeon first, or like confront the magician directly or something, because also now that yeah, I don't know, because Marcel could maybe do something about it because she has black magic and, you know, can like...
Yeah, I guess if because like the magician is kind of an extreme sort of end game power ceiling of what Marcel will will like would be capable of, like being a dungeon creator, learning about how dungeons work and stuff. That's what Marcial's goal is. So it would make sense that as we go further, she's trending more towards the level of power or the level of understanding that the magician has.
Yeah.
But they're still all talking about Delgal. I wonder if there's because it seems like the magician is just kind of crazy because they lost their family.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something. Maybe if well, this is kind of a reach, but maybe it's not. Because Marcial's whole thing because she used black magic to bring back somebody. Maybe that's what the magician did as well with Delgal, and that's like sort of how this is all fucked up. Like I mean, and we kind of know that to be the case in some way because everything started falling apart, and then the magician like turned everything to gold. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of missing details in that part of the story. Anyway, I don't know. Well, there's kind of parallels there, I guess is what I'm getting at, and maybe that will be the key to how things go. But I'm getting the feeling that with this turn with FALIN, I think that we already did the thing where we went down, defeated the evil, and tried to save her. Like, are we gonna do it twice in a row and it's just nothing's gonna change the second time, or is it going to be like we tried and we succeeded and then shit happened? And then now now it's more about letting go of the past, like kind of like again a parallel with the dungeon, how the magician is going after trying to get Delgal or trying to, maintain the whole. If you think about thematically what the dungeon means, it's like and with being and elves, like we think of free rent and stuff like that, about learning to live in the moment and stuff like that. The dungeon prevents spirits from moving on. It like keeps things in stasis. It keeps things stagnant, and it uses magic to kind of pervert the natural way of things, which it kind of feeds into the whole dialogue between Senshi and Marcial, how they go about the dungeon, and how Senshi is like the true person, or the true dungeon explorer, how he represents like what the real way to interact with the dungeon, the real way to positively, interact with the world around you in an authentic way, and not a way that like takes the short way or the easy way, or the tries to just skip over it. Being immersed in it, using it for food, shelter, and being immersed in the dungeon experience rather than just skipping over it. So, and not using magic in that way. And that kind of mirrors the struggle that has sort of taken the magician, and the struggle that we're kind of facing right now. Because the answer to living honestly in the dungeon is not to use magic, or not to sort of pervert the natural way. In a way, there's like a balance there, I guess. And maybe it'll be about finding that balance. But then we see Senshi doing that, and then we see the magician corrupting everything and sort of forcing everything to stay a certain way in an unnatural way. And there's this economy that's propped up from explorers and adventurers kind of profiting on this, and it's like it's good for everyone, but it's also kind of weird, like how it's not black and white whether magic is good or bad. There's benefits and downsides, and where am I going with this? The way it applies to FALIN, I think all of this together is that, like, magic has corrupted this in a good way, that we got to try and save her, but there's also the risk of what she's possibly turning into. And the way forward is not more magic and more corruption or more perversion. It's finding that balance and letting her go and putting her to rest. In a way, as tragic and terrible as that is, it's the circle of life type thing, possibly. Maybe.
I think that could be interesting.
I'm just seeing that kind of through line through a lot of these different stories, but
I think that could be interesting. For me, I feel like I need to like wait and see a little bit more, because that would be like a really dark kind of turn for the story, especially after we've added in like such a large cast now. Like it's I feel like I need to see how everyone's gonna fit in for like a little bit longer with all because we got like so many new people.
I feel like in a way it's dark, but in a way it's not, because I think what's darker is, you know, is her just like the magician. It's like what's darker, death and finality and the closure of that, or continuing to subsist through like a perverted sense of life where your will is not your own and your choices are not your own, and you know you don't have autonomy over your own life. You know, you just are bound to your environment in a way that you didn't choose or that you have no influence over. You know, is it better to and again, it is about the balance. It's not so black and white, because yeah, it's like magic did allow them to have that night with Falin, to save her, to potentially save her. Magic has saved a bunch of other people. So it's not about magic being bad, but it's when it's taken too far and you go beyond like what is natural, or stray too far beyond from living in the moment, living in your present circumstance, then you turn into someone like the magician, who has completely sort of corrupted this whole place. And it's, you know, it's in a way beautiful, but because there's like we just learned about the cleaners, like it's an example of how how small, you know, the magic is, the ecosystem is kind of evolving. Anyway, I don't know. Well, my prediction is the story's going to be we need to save Fallen by letting her die, because I think the thing with this kind of magic, because it's like illegal, it's like so punished. It's like human transmutation. It's like there's a part of your soul that's lost when it's sort of corrupted in this way. It's not a light thing. I don't think the elves would just outlaw this shit and make it like completely bad. I mean, maybe it's a power play thing, but you know, I think that there's a reason why it's not allowed, and you know, so we'll see. But that's what I think. I think the story's headed in that direction.
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't really thinking about it that way, so I think that's kind of interesting. And I feel like also, like, for me, it also depends of, like, how, like, are the elves gonna roll in? Are they gonna come over here? Is that gonna be a plot line where we're gonna have, like, where then it's gonna be that, like, Marcia ends up being in the right by doing this black magic, because she's the one who can, like, kind of save the day here, because she kind of knows the magic that this dungeon is based off of, and that's, like, the way to kind of, like, take it full circle and defeat the dungeon and, like, wrap it up? Or is it, like, we need to not defeat the dungeon because it is such an ecosystem, but then there's that whole thing of, like, where if people stop exploring when there's no more money left, then everything will just get overrun and it will be bad anyway. So I don't know, it's all, everything is all very interconnected, and that's the whole point. It's like this huge ecosystem of, like, even the economy of the world above is, like, fed by this dungeon, by people going in there. So it's really interesting. But then there's also, these elves from, like, across the sea that kind of, you know, have their fingers in it a little bit and are... The elves, like a real world parallel that I think Canadians would understand, but maybe not as much. I don't know a better parallel for, like, other people in the world. But when North America was being settled by Britain, there was the company called the Hudson's Bay Company, and they're still actually a company today, which is kind of weird. But when the whole North America was being colonized and stuff, and there's all the fur trade going on, and everybody settling, and all the pioneers, as they were called. There's the country and all the people over there that are, like, sort of colonizing this far off land and have their sort of hands in the pot of this foreign nation. But they have, you know, but it's like they have, like, ties to it, but they, you know, come back every once in a while, or have, like, kind of a... Did you see what I'm saying? Maybe it's not as good of an example as I'm thinking, but I know what you're trying to say. Like, it's the, like,
they are, the elves are ultimately in control. Well, where Canada is, like, its own far off place where, like, people live and survive, and Britain, like, came settled it or colonized it more like they leave, but they still like can come back, and that's kind of the relationship they have. It's like
they're like governing this place that they have no idea of the day-to-day life and like what is actually happening.
So
there.
then they have like in terms of they have like a claim to what's going on there, like that's the magic, say, instead of like a physical good. It's like they have claim to what's there, but they don't actually, like, they aren't there anymore, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel, and there's actually a lot of like colonialism, like with all the orcs, the whole story with all the orcs and the dwarves. Like there's multiple sort of
levels of
that I think relate to that kind of theme. So I don't know. It's just I think that the elves I think we will get into that, because that's why I went to here, because I think this person's like highlighted as a character, maybe this person as well. I mean, maybe this one as well. Maybe we'll get a little fairy. I think that they'll show up to like audit the place. That's what it seems like they're doing. They're wearing the green cloaks, very similar to Marseille. I think that they're going to be there to kind of look over and assess what's going on, and then once they find out that there's this black magic shit going on, and they're going to assess the dungeon, they'll probably even know the magician. If I had to guess, they probably will have some sort of memory or record of them. So I think that, and then probably more elves will come, and maybe if the series goes long enough, it will evolve into like almost a war-like arc at the end, where they need to like where the elves are trying to storm everything, and they need to kick them out, or maybe the elves will be the enemy, or maybe like, you know, it's not really black and white with this show in most cases. Because, like, even like, the show portrays even things like the orcs who are absolutely, you know, subjugated and marginalized and forced to live in these, in the tunnels. Like, they show up, their introduction is them murdering all these people.
But then at the same time, people don't die in the dungeon, so it's like, how evil are you, you know?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, is it's not always black and white. So I don't think the elves are going to be, like, evil 100% colonial. At least the people we meet won't be like evil colonialist, racist, elven supremacist. I think they're going to be more of like the whole vibe will be more of like an ivory tower sort of like, they don't hate, they just
have no idea.
They just are kind of removed and bigger than that, you know what I mean? Because they live longer, they're more powerful. They aren't emotionally invested in, you know, the struggles of the people. They care about about balancing their books, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. I wonder how, it's so open. I don't know how they're going to impact the story, what that's going to mean, or if it's going to be like these guys are going to come and audit, and there's going to be this looming fear of the elves coming back and fucking everything up. But again, it's going to be about finding that balance, and then maybe this character with the white hair or the elves will come to like oh, well, I guess we didn't find anything, too bad, and then everything will continue kind of as normal. But there's always this kind of like, you know, looming thing of it, but they'll turn a blind eye and then pretend they didn't see anything. I don't know. Anyway, we should probably move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, leave a like and subscribe.
Let's
go. Alrighty. Episode 17. Oh, Jesus. Starting at 0.
黒魔術なんておぞましいにも程がありますよね。そこまでして蘇生するべき人だったんですか？シローさんが怒るのも当然ですよ。だって生き返らせたってリスクしかないじゃないですか。そのまま死なせた方が彼女にとっても。
やめろ。言いたいことは分かったから、それ以上はやめてくれ。
すみません。シローさん
Alright, Kabru.
心の底ではお気づきなんでしょう。もし見たら同じ手段を選んだのではないですか？
分かっているが、こいつの態度はあまりにも。思い出込みでレッドドラゴンかな。術使ったけど。とにかく、俺はお前の考えていることがよくわかる。
I doubt I'll ever understand. Oh, just in time for when he's pissed off.
これまでのことを全部話した。
Bro folded under zero pressure.
彼も少し疲れているんですよ。
何度彼に助けられたかわからないし、異国の話を聞かせてくれた。シュロはいつも冷静で頭のいい人だった。俺は相当まずいことをしたのだろう。このまま友情が終わってしまうのは悲しいけど。
Cover's just like, you're thinking about your friendship? That's your concern? Harpies?
Oh, boy.
Oh, great, now I'm gonna have to censor the episode.
The show, zero fan service, also the show.
It's
The
straight-
tits are out.
I mean, they're technically not women, strictly speaking, so...
それであの雰囲気シュローは完璧。忍者たちの方が順調なよう
What is that spider demon?
Yeah.
Is that like one of them has a summon, I guess?
シュローとそのお付きの女二人にそれとあの巻き毛の男あの人って宝虫で全滅してた人だよね品や食料を盗んだ誰かを探してるんじゃねえのおかみをどか宝虫で食料は水没してそれよりも問題はシュローは怒っちゃいるが問題ないパリに危険を及ぼした俺たちに腹を立て他のやつはどうかな
Chill
Are
Chuck.
they gonna eat all of these harpies? Have a giant harpy feast?
I feel like that's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a harpy breast fucking deep fried chicken.
Oh.
What? Oh,
Oh! Oh shit!
I didn't think they were gonna
think that-
reveal
yeah.
it. I thought it was gonna be more of a mystery. Oh god. Oh shit!
She's so scary.
And she's killed two of them.
It's so cool.
Oh my god, dude. Read the room. Laios, read the fucking room, dude.
Laios over there like, why couldn't it have been me?
Laios is like, he's over there gritting his teeth, just like, oh, he must be in severe emotional turmoil. Internally, he has having an inner conflict of whether he wants to eat his sister or save her. Oh no, she's dead.
Oh god.
With the titty
What?
bounce too? What the fuck, man? Wait. Oh, they're doing damage. Get that knife. Get the knife.
Yeah, can we like tie her up?
Yeah, what about that spider
that
demon?
thread thing, yeah.
Oh god. I thought she was gonna get fucking splattered across the wall. They seem to be really going hardcore on the
Yikes.
gore this time. I can't believe they squashed Miseru's head. I didn't think she was gonna die like that. She'd probably
I mean,
still
they
be
can get her
revived.
back,
But, yeah, but I
but
mean, it's
still,
fucking gruesome,
yeah,
man. Oh, my god. Are they gonna be able to get everyone back?
Oh my god.
Is that a, what was it called? Yeah,
I'm gonna watch
a
out.
familiar. An Undine, yeah.
She just doesn't know what she's doing. She's a little bit, you know.
あんな人を守るためなら何人犠牲にしようが構わないとあれは彼女じゃないただの魔物だ
I mean, he's not wrong. She can still use her magic, and she's taking. It's fucking like when Marcille ate the Undine, or was oh no, she just killed it. Okay, I thought she was like consuming the mana. No, no, no.
Oh no, not the dog, not the dog. Hmm? Oh boy. Oh boy.
He's actually gonna do it.
ものなら俺が代わってやりたかった。
my god! Holy shit!
Oh, I thought she was gonna crush his head
Yeah.
right there.
立てるか躊躇して悪かった君の言い分は正しい妹の魂は今や明治配下にあるのだろうまた狂乱の魔術師が現れてしまう離れなくては
What about the people? Oh, fuck. What's up with the fan service? This is all of a
She's
sudden.
powering up.
This is insane, man! This is literally a Dark Souls boss. They're fighting Seat the Scaleless right now, and it's...
Whoa.
It's like struggling to get up. Oh
Wow.
my god.
また戻ってくるかも
僕が蘇生する。
Oh, okay, thank
Nice.
God.
は無理だけど。
死体を集めましょうか
ダメダメ。
Wow. Because all their blood, yeah.
できない。魔物逃げてったよ。もう大丈夫。
Wow.
That was
I can't even
freaking
believe that. That was
crazy,
crazy.
dude. Jesus.
なぜ私を私も簡単な蘇生術なら
やめろお前は
Don't trust her.
これ以上お前に黒魔術を使わせるわけにはいかない
そんなもの使わない
あれはなんだなぜ彼女があんな姿に
That was not. That's not from that.
黒魔術を
And technically it
Well.
was. Technically it was.
ないあの魔術にそんな力はない考えられるとするならレッドドラゴンの魂に何か術が仕掛けられててファリンと竜の魂が混ざり狂乱の魔術師の手
Human transmutation. Never goes well.
エルフに引き渡す
Yep.
俺にはあれは殺せないだがあのまま放置するわけにもいかない家から解放し彼女を安らかにしてやりたい僕たちならその手段を知っているはずだ
Oh boy.
西のエルフたちの前で全てを打ち明けろやめてくれシローがあるはずふざけるな今までお前たちが何をしてきた別の方法だと彼女が元に戻るまであらゆる魔物の肉で蘇生を試すか言ってみろ何をどうする体があるのだろう言ってみろ狂乱の魔術師を倒すあのレッドドラゴンは明らかに何かを命令されて動いていた迷宮を作った魔術師以外いないならば魔術師を倒し命令をそのあたり俺にはよくわからないがマルシルならできるはずだだからふざけるのも大概にしろ黒魔術で解決する気か本気で物事を考えたらどう
Sometimes you just gotta fight it out, I guess.
確かに俺は立つ方じゃないし大抵の冒険者より君は強いでもはっきり言える日3食しっかり食べて
I knew he was gonna say that.
This is like One Punch Man explaining his powers.
狂乱の魔術師を必ず打ち倒し絶対に
And you can help as long as you eat up. Eat your vegetables, eat your monsters.
風呂入って寝ろ何まだ勝負はついていないのかお前がその気ならもう考えがある考えライオス俺はなと前からお前のことが苦手でたまらなかった大雑把で鈍感で真顔ねえ外国の話もっと俺も行くない分余計にタチが悪かった今ここでお前を殺しライオスそう言えなんで今まで黙ってたんだよおか鈍感だとか間が悪いとか大体の人間なら気づくお前も少しはこしろさすがかまでできた初めての友達が嫌がってたんだぞこっちはやだ自分だ
But you fight dirty. Three missing?
Missing.
Well, can she give some of her mana? Oh, right, they were hiding. Are they actually gonna eat Harpy? His fur's all stained red.
I like how he's still just been holding that the whole time.
It's gonna be so good. No, he's used to it. We're seeing this through to the end. Oh, she's missing. Oh, she must be gathering intel. Oh no, he is leaving.
Wow.
What?
Damn.
Fuck. I didn't think he was just gonna leave. I feel like the more we learn about Fallen, the more Griffith she becomes. I like that, the self-aware Japanese courting stuff.
カブル、君には随分助けられた。
別に何もだったし。
いや、あれでいろんなことに気づけた。
いろんな
致命傷だが、妹にはそうではなかった。つまり、あの部分には重要な臓器がする。バジリス、ケルベロスやスキラ、脳が複数ある魔物は結構裏型に多い。喉を切られた。
瞳孔が開いてる。本当に
You just tapped into his special interest. I think he's gonna be like this for a while.
確かに彼より腕の立つ冒険者なら大勢いるが。
None with this level of insanity.
本当にやるかもしれない。
He's so crazy, he might just do it.
迷宮の主を狂乱の魔術師を倒した者はこの国の全てが手に入るそうだな。つまり次の迷宮の主になるという。
I feel like he's the kind of guy you don't want in that position.
I feel like he's not a terrible guy for that position. I'd rather have Laios in that position than Kabaru.
Yeah, that's true.
この迷宮を封鎖ってなんか。
Very simple meal.
何ですかこれ。
卵で作った卵焼き。が見つけてきてね。魔物食に興味があるみたいだったから一つどうぞ。
Whoa.
Eat it.
His whole life flashed before his eyes at the thought of eating it.
Yeah, but he's gonna like it.
He'll do anything to win some. That's what I was gonna say earlier. Like when he's just like trying to be so helpful to like at every possible. He steps in at like every possible interaction in order to like be the
Oh, he
savior.
doesn't like it. Okay. See how it is.
I really thought they're gonna stick around.
しかし黒魔術のせいで地上にも戻れなかった。これをなぜ遠く離れた対の鈴と共鳴する使いをやって、東方や逃亡できるよう手配しよう。信じ
ライオス、話せてよかった。今回一番の収穫でした。
はいよしろ。
僕の名前覚えてくれたんですよね。
もちろん。
次は忘れないでくださいね。それじゃまた。
次は
That's really cool magic. Ooh.
もう後には引けない。結局こうなる予感がしてたんだ俺には。
下品だぞチル。
ごめん。
なんとかなるよ。
Jesus. This episode was freaking crazy, man.
Yeah.
My goodness. Wow.
That I was not expecting like the reveal of FALIN to happen so quick. But I guess it makes sense if everyone else is like heading up, and then if they're report stuff, and then get the ball kind of rolling up there. So it makes sense, but it's crazy. And yeah, that fight was just so. I think what's so cool about it is because there's the ability to resurrect people, that you can just kind of go crazy on killing them.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, oh, they're being super edgy and like killing off half the cast,
Yeah.
It's like they can come back, but at the same time they don't overdo it. They don't have people just dying in horrific. It's not like a ReZero kind of thing where it's like, okay, how graphically and how many times can we kill this guy that can't die?
Yeah.
It's like I feel like they save it for key moments, and then so it's still shocking, even though that they're gonna get resurrected. It's still just like, oh my god, that's horrific, And she's like the queen of all these harpies, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It is pretty freaking crazy. I don't even know what to say. It was just the fight was really intense. And yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to think about this one. I don't know what to say. It was just really very good episode, very
yeah.
loaded.
A lot was going on. I love this little like when they're punching each other and stuff and
Very
talking about
good.
it. Yeah.
I like that too.
I love how he's like, you're so unobservant. It's like, bro, you didn't realize that the girl you proposed to was like basically dating another member of your party already?
Yeah. I feel like it's really interesting with the different perspectives. I wonder how it seems like the author's pretty self-aware about the difference between like a Western perspective on dating and a Japanese perspective on dating, because Shiro's just instantly like confesses his love to her rather than letting it like build over time, and also just their dispositions in general represent that kind of divide between Laios and Shiro, where Laios is like very open and upfront and with how he feels and in the way he acts, and then I don't know if this is actually like a commentary or sort of going off of that, but then Shiro, who's like characteristically a Japanese guy, is like coming from that kind of culture where it's just sort of it's all about hints, all about like boundaries and politeness and all that type of stuff.
He's not gonna just tell Laios, hey, you're being rude to me.
Yeah.
Because that's in itself rude. It's like rude to call someone out and say that they're being rude,
Yeah.
I love that drawing. I love how Laios gets so hyped up when he realizes that she's a monster now, and he's like has this flashbacks to the Kelpie and stuff. And he's like, it's the flashback of like, you can't trust a monster. He's like, I did say that, didn't I? Better follow my own rules now. And he's like drawing up the little sketch of her of like, okay, so if we like killed her here, here, and here, then like that didn't work. So she must have other vital organs. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kabru is cold-blooded as fuck, and it's really awesome. But he's just such a snake in he's such a so like I think of snake-like characters who are like little weasels. I think of like a Littlefinger, but he knows he's being a weasel. Whereas Kabru, I don't think is always aware of how he comes off, and I think that's like a genius writing stroke, because he's playing like he is like he's all about gathering information. He learned so much about Laios, and then they just met. I was like, oh, they never even interacted. I guess it makes sense, but he gave a whole dissertation about Laios's personality and the way that he acts. And then he was like, oh yeah, it's great to meet you this episode. I'm just like, oh shit. Or last episode or whatever it was. And then, but yeah, just the way whenever Shuro and Laios are fighting or other people are doing this or that, like he's always there to be like be the mediator and be the leader and like step in. And it's such like an effectively subtle like slime ball, like, thing, you know what I'm saying?
It's like he is so good at what he's doing. He doesn't have to think like, oh, I should say yes to this, or oh, I should do this so that this will be the result. It's just like, it's automatic to him to do the thing that will allow him to be in someone else's good favor. It's like his natural instinct, which then is just the best thing, because like his whole thing is like he thinks that he is like, basically better than everyone else, kind of, and he is morally superior and lawfully superior, but he doesn't just strike first and ask questions later. He also has this weird thing with like almost like mad scientist kind of vibe to him, where he's like, oh, I want to like see what happens here. Like, oh, he could just do it. Like, he could either go with them and like actively see what's happening, or just get rid of him because he doesn't want him to, be in control of the dungeon. But he doesn't. Instead, he, kind of makes himself seem like a good friend, or like an ally or something. Yeah. And then he like disappears, until we meet again, kind of thing. But Laios has no idea that this guy has like been stalking him and knows everything about him and doesn't like him at all, and like there's just so many things going on, and Laios is like, that guy was just such a great guy,
Yeah, Cobra guy, what a good shit.
He was even interested in the monster food. What an awesome experience it was to meet that guy,
Yeah.
It's so great. It's just such a funny thing to also, the fact that he is like such a slimy kind of guy, but then also the fact that Laios is just so like oblivious to pretty much everything.
And it's not even that he's overly like trusting from a moral perspective, like, because other shonen guys will be like, they sort of amaze the people who are critical or cynical by being so forthright and honest with and immediately trusting of people. But that's not exactly what Laios is. No. It's more that Laios is just so distracted with what he likes with his special interest that he just doesn't take the time to consider everyone else. So it's like similar, but it's not quite the same. It's more like inward focused rather than like having an inherent belief in humanity.
Yeah, instead of like this whole thing of,
which is kind of what Kabru said when he was talking about Laios in a previous episode, where he's just like, where he was giving money to those scammers who would like use it for ill means,
Yeah.
He didn't care. Like, it's just that he did it. It's not that, oh, I have a good heart. Laios has a good heart. He just trusts everybody. It's more that he just, so, Kabru is a little bit right, but he also, I think, because of that, underestimates the also goodness in him that's inherent, because he does have that. Laios does have that in him. It's just that that's not the driving force of his actions. Yeah. So, like, again, comparing it to like, another, whatever, your like classic like image
Naruto or something,
your classic, whatever, classic image of a shonen protagonist, like they have an that goodness is what drives drives the story and what drives their actions. But with Laios, he has that, but that's not what drives it. It's like it's a very subtle change, but it makes Kabru slightly right. But also Kabru, because he is such a slime ball, he doesn't put this. He's unable to actually accurately appraise Laios's inner workings, because Kabru, it seems like he's way more concerned with actions rather than intentions, and like the good or bad that people do is like a complete characterization of what they want or what they are inherently, you know? I don't know. So, like, it doesn't matter whether or not they're good or bad deep down isn't... Just like how Laios doesn't consider whether somebody is trustworthy or not. He doesn't consider whether they're good or bad necessarily. He just sees... I think he thinks he sees what their nature is, but he doesn't look at it holistically. It seems like he sees people as kind of one note, which is a very narcissistic kind of way of going about the world, which makes sense with his character. Anyway, Kaburu's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sad that we won't get more of the Shuro
Yeah,
gang.
but the cat girl did get left behind, so
That is true.
maybe we'll team up with her because she's down here.
She's probably gathering intelligence.
Yeah, or she, like, ran off.
You know what? I bet because she is all masked up, we're going to see her out of costume in the dungeon.
And not know
and
her.
they're not going to know. Maybe we'll be supposed to know, or everyone will know, or, you know, it'll try to be a mystery, and then it'll be revealed that she's the cat girl. I don't know. I feel like they tipped their hand a little bit too much, and I don't know how aware the story is of that fact, because like with Kuro growling at her in that one shot, and just in general things about her. I don't know how aware of how much the hand was tipped. Like if they're gonna try and play it off like, oh, who's this mysterious person, or if it'll be like, you know, they'll be thinking that, or like Laios will be thinking that, and then everyone else will be like, it's clearly that fucking cat girl from the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a crazy episode.
Yeah, it was so good. I also I don't know
what else to say about
either.
it.
It was so packed and it was so awesome. It was great.
I love like a Big Brother Edward moment.
Yeah.
She literally said the line, like, it was so funny.
Yeah, literal human
That
transmutation.
must be a reference to that, because it's too good. That's so funny. I love it.
Maybe.
This episode was just so good. Yeah. It was so good.
You used your red dragon to create a chimera.
But
Banger.
yeah, at the end of it all, they're just gonna go after the magician, and you know they're back on their own. They're not teaming up with these guys. They're, you know,
I really thought they were building
determined
up for a
to-
team up moment, but
Yeah, I kind of like that they didn't go for it, and I'm okay because I'm
okay with it too.
I think that, you
I
know,
wish
some
they
of these
did,
people
though.
are still going to be like reoccurring, but like they're staying side characters. They're not just over bloating the main journey
Yeah.
for no reason.
Well, they're also, Shuro said that he's going to go report all the shit to the Lord of the Island, so I think we're going to have a similar kind of scene or group of scenes. Maybe that's how the elves will get introduced, is we'll follow Shiro in like a beast story situation, or Kabru maybe. In a beast story situation when they're back on the top and the elves will have arrived, and then we'll meet the elves with them, and then the elves will come down, probably without the rest of the people. And then maybe at some point later we'll see, we'll definitely see Kabru again, hopefully Shuro, but
Yeah,
Shuro says he's never coming back, so I don't know about that.
Well, it is cool that he's like, yeah, I'm gonna report this, and because it's like we were just talking about in the last episode, it's like how's the ball gonna get rolling with like the elves and like everything on the surface, like, you know, like they've been kind of slowly setting that up in the background, but like when's that gonna come into play?
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, we have a direct reason for like how that would explain, like, okay, they suddenly are, you know, way more involved in like part of the story and stuff. Yeah, and I love this episode. It's crazy. It's crazy
so
what
good.
kind of like what the show's just turned into. It's, you know, when you see a crazy fight like this and being turned into like a chimera, and, you know, attacking her friends and stuff, and getting stabbed, and Laios is trying to kill her and stuff. It's just like, Oh my god,
The
like
turn
this
was pretty
the
insane.
show just like went from, oh yeah, let's cook up some mandrake omelet or something, and then it's just like, and his sister was disfigured and turned into a monster, and now we need to kill her so that we can get the magician, and the, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, wow, like the stakes have gone off the charts. Like, it's crazy that it could get worse for her than just she is literally being digested as we speak, but it was like, that was chill, that was like the normal, that was like, we can still have fun, she's being digested, it's fine, they take a long time to digest whatever, and now it's just like, now it's game on, you know what I mean? It's crazy. I really like how it's kind of transitioned into something a little bit crazier than just like cooking show.
Yeah.
But it still feels natural and still feels like the same show, and we still get a lot of great moments from the characters. It's not like the characters just did a 180 and are different people. Laios is still the same guy, and I think that that's what really makes it work, because you could just be like, oh, here's this silly cooking show, and now that it's gotten more of like an action, like adventure show, you know, and it's gotten darker, then this character becomes more of like some kind of standard guy. Instead, he's just still the same guy, and I really like that, and I feel like that does a lot for the story.
I agree. Yeah, it's an easy trap to fall into, especially like if a series gains popularity. You see it all the time in like a million different series where they have like a really interesting concept in first arc, and then the second and following arcs after or maybe usually like the third arc is like the snake starts to eat its own tail, and it's like, oh, we see what's popular about it, so we're gonna curtail the story and the characters and everything that made it unique into what, you know, they think people want, and then it just becomes, you know, bland or just standard. But they're kind of evolving the story without losing that initial charm, and it's definitely much less about the whole cooking aspect. They still show it here and there, and they refer to it, but it definitely has taken more of a turn towards a more classical style fantasy and moving away from just that portion of it. But I think it will come back in the end, because it has been established with Marcille and obviously with the mechanism of how Fallen got into this situation. It's all kind of wrapped up in the core idea, and the cooking itself, like I was talking about earlier in this, after last episode's discussion, was, you know, the all of the stuff. The cooking isn't just the cooking. It's like it's a vehicle to introduce the overall theme that is explored in many different aspects of the story, and sort of negotiating all that shit, all the stuff with magic and nature and
ecosystems and the balance and cycle of life, and
yeah, so all that kind of stuff is, you know, the cooking, although it's taken more of a back seat, it doesn't feel like it's lost, or like the core of the show is lost, because the cooking wasn't just the cooking to begin with. It was doing and saying something more, and what came out of that is what is now carrying the story. So it's still, I think that's a big part of what makes it feel like an organic kind of evolution, rather than just a shift towards a more popular type of story. But I like it.
Me too.
W. Leave a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.